Hello and welcome to the Wildflower Heart podcast. I am your host, Katherine Fischer. I am a singer-songwriter, and this is the podcast where we talk to interesting people about what their passion is. So this first episode is just a little intro episode, talk a little bit about myself, what this podcast is about, and what you can come to expect from it. So I am a singer-songwriter from London, Ontario. I write folk songs, folk pop, folk country, kind of weaves in and out between those genres. Most recently, I released a EP called Wildflower Heart that came out in September. That name came to me kind of out of nowhere. I was just thinking of different names for this record and what I wanted it to sound like, what the title needed to portray and what it needed to mean. And I was going through all of these different titles, and I wanted to play around with the idea of Roots, which is one of the songs on the record, but I didn't want to call it Roots. And so I wanted something that was in that idea, in that kind of wildflower, floral, nature concept and landscape, but I didn't know exactly what it was going to be. And then I was talking to my dad, and I told him if I ever created a band, it would be called Wildflower Silhouette. And no one take that band name. I want it for the future, just so we all know. But I told him that, but I knew that that wasn't the title. And then from there came Wildflower Heart. And since I have come up with that title, and just so you know, a side note, I interchange the words EP and record back and forth. So if I say one or the other, it's the same thing. So yes, the title of that EP just kind of came to me and has really become a concept in my life. This title has really felt like the definition of what I feel like at this point in my life. All of the things that I'm going through. Wildflowers are very resilient, and they also grow without human cultivation, and that's kind of what the definition is. That whole idea really kind of felt like where I'm at in life right now. I'm very much discovering what makes me me and what makes my sound my sound. What does Katherine Fischer sound like when she is creating art? And also, what is she when she moves through this world? So that whole idea was really playing in my head and turned into the EP title. And since then, I have always wanted to make a podcast for honestly like 2+ years. I've started out many concepts and never really fully run with them, but this felt like a really good jumping off point and a really good place to start with the idea of Wildflower Heart. And so I wanted to interview interesting people about their passions and what makes them feel fulfilled, because I think it's really cool to see different people's perspectives and see the world through their eyes, even if it's just for 30 minutes talking to them. I wanted to bring those interesting perspectives into a podcast where I get to interview people and talk to them about concepts, which I just love conversation with people. I love good conversation. So this really allows me to do that, and I'm very lucky that I get to do that through this platform. So I invite you to come along. This is the Wildflower Heart podcast, and I hope you join us, and I hope you get something from this. And if you're interested in being on the podcast, send me a DM on like Instagram, or you can email me, katherinefmusic@gmail.com. Send me an email, and we'll talk and see if we can maybe work something out, because I just want to interview people who want to have cool conversations about what they love. So thank you so much for listening to this little intro episode. I will be putting it up alongside episode 1 so that you do have some content to listen to right off the bat. I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night whenever you are listening to this, and trust your wildflower heart.